Okay, let's start. So first video is all about feet, and your feet are standing foundation. If your feet are prolapsing, you see what's happening with the inner ankle, drops in and then it pulls the knee, and that pulls the hip, that pulls the lower back. So everything is connected. So very important to master the feet. So these few exercises, one should do it on a daily basis. So first one was like this. You curl your toes up. Actually, first one is your feet underneath your hip joints, not your bum. Literally, wherever you find these bony parts of your pelvis, the iliacus. And then you follow your femur, your thigh bone, and your feet should be dead parallel um, underneath. And then, can you see the inner edge of your foot? You should face each other. So like this, no good, like this, very good. And then from there, you curl your toes up, lift them up, and find the grounding on these 3 points. You have like 2 at the front, 1 at the back. And if you're truly grounded, you should be able to lift your foot like this. Just test it. You see, if you end up like this, lifting your... So if you lift that big bone underneath your big toe, you end up losing the balance. You have to really pin it and then just practice that. And that means you're in a straight line. And you found these 3 points of grounding. And then one by one, spread your toes down. And then you curl up again. Lower your big toes down now and hold it. And notice what does it to your arch. Notice how strong that is. Your foot has 5 arches. This is just the one that we call arch, but there's actually 4 more hiding around your foot. And then release the rest down. Off you go again. You curl up, lower your big toes down, hold it again as you just done, and then try to get a small one down. You see what you're doing to the arch that is across your foot. So keeping those arches the way they are designed, because they are designed for the purpose. Body's intelligent, so they carry the whole body in the right alignment. If your arches are collapsing, obviously something will pull along the body. Anyway, and then slowly release it. And then curl up again. So now you do motorics, mind-body connection. So you're tapping twice with the big, once with the small. Big, small. And notice, if you do this for a while, how feet are start hurting. Like you actually feel the work. Big, small. And do it in your pace that you can do it. So you execute. You're connecting your central nervous system with your peripheral nervous system. So whatever brain says the muscles to move, muscles supposed to move. You see that? So keep pedaling. Big, small. Do it again, pace as you can do it. Big, small. And then release. Notice feet, eh? And then you curl up again, and then reverse. Twice with the small, once with the big. Small, big. Tuk. And you do that, yeah. Just do that few times, just to start opening that foot wide. Yeah, that's it. And then slowly release. And then, this is my favorite. You open your feet to the outer edges. And notice what ankles are going through. You get lateral stretch. And then you separate your feet a little bit apart, because there's enough space to go with them in. You see that? So you're coming to the inner. Just focus on your foot. Don't worry about your legs. Legs would follow the movement of your foot. So you go out, you go in, you go out. Oh, it's lovely, this one. This is my favorite, because you're moving your ankles. Again, ankles has a quite big movement, that those joints are quite, they can go quite range, and you need to keep them designed. If your ankles are stiff, again, reflex of your knee, because the movement has to reflect somewhere in the body, usually knees and then lower back. We'll come to the knees on the other video, and lower back on the other video. So just working, like moving those. Anyway, and then this is a great one. Open, stay on your outer edges. And then you open them and you lock your legs, quadriceps legs. And then you tailbone, tilt your tailbone upwards and then backwards. So like this, no good. You don't feel stretch at all. You need to pull your pelvis out, and then you feel the proper stretch in your back of your leg. As again, hamstrings tight, no good. So turn your feet, tilt your pelvis, proud chest, and then you end up stretching the back of your legs. And then, if you want to take it a little bit further, you move it sideways. So if I turn myself around, you see that, like, oh, and then notice and then you feel these 2 lines of stretching, one in the back of your leg and one into your inner legs. This is lovely. I love this one. The tightness in hamstrings, usually it's trouble in the lower back, because it pulls you. Sometimes you get tight and it pulls your lower back. No good. So get those hamstrings hamstrings working, and also knees. It pulls your knees. You know the corresponding, the joint that is hurting, you have corresponding joints next to it that actually in trouble too. So if you have a knee problems, back problems, the whole leg is actually in trouble, starting from the feet. Anyway, and then your last one, and then you come back, and then you step your right foot backwards, and then simple as that, you just lift your foot up and down, and find your, it's not to lift it on top at all, it's to find your ball of your foot. And then notice what you're doing to your ankle, your flexion and extension of your ankle. And also one really important bit to prevent plantar fascia, if you ever know about this one. You're stretching your sole of your foot, which is so important. And also that arch, there is arch that is like here. There's, I said 5 arches. So one is in the sole of your foot that goes from toes to the heel, like, yeah. Anyway, so you stretching that one too. Okay, and then you change your legs. Few of those. Just curl your toes. Doesn't matter how high you get. It's all about just keep the pressure on that ball of your foot. Okay. And then next one, you step forward. You hold the floor close to your feet. So you have to really bend it's a low squat. And then, so I need to move myself a little bit. Anyway, and then shoot your right foot backwards. All your weight is on your front. Don't put any weight on your back foot because it gets crampy. It's uncomfortable. And then you see pointing your toes backwards and feel the stretch in the front of your foot and your shin. If you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable, you rotate a little bit around. Don't come on top of your toes. Stay under all the time. And then change rotation the other way. And then you step forward, do the other one, same thing, just like that. Even you just stay, it's fine. You don't need to rotate. As long as you feel the nice stretch. Your step should be more generous, but just because of space, I have to do it this way. So just find the length that you actually feel the stretch. And then you step forward. And then this one is great. Again, you see the spine stays flat. You bend your legs. And then just watch your knees. Don't let your knees drop in. That's so bad. Activate those arches. We'll come to that when we come to knees, but just here. And then move your fingertips to the outside, for example, of your left. This is my left leg. Outside of the left. Bend this left leg, stays bent, but the right one, stretch. The opposite one, stretch a little bit. And this is, wow, this is your QL. This is for the QL. This sequence is for the feet and warm up for the knees and back when we go into another videos. So you just keep, so if you're from profile, you look like this, you stretch. Don't worry if this leg doesn't come straight. You just play with it like little, and then every time you do it, it would go a little bit straighter and straighter. And then once you find the maximum stretch, stay there a little bit. And then really feel it. Keep looking forward, or if you look down, you lessen the intensity of it. Keep looking forward. Ugh. And then slowly come back, walk to the other side. Same thing, both legs are to start with bend. And then, try, you see, you're playing with this one now. Little bend, little bend. And then again, the QL, quadrum lumborum. Oh, this muscle, always tight. This muscle is one of our stabilizers, keep us upright. Probably you know that, but just I'm adding little bits. If you know, you know. But if you know, there you go. Now you know. Anyway, and then slowly come back, and then come all the way up with your arms over your head. So you're nice and long. And then stretch from your heels to the tip of your finger, and especially lengthen the rib cage. So you end up a little bit of space in your digestive system and your internal organs. Very important bit, little yoga there. Anyway, and then shoulders. Lift your shoulders up and then whoosh them down. So you're doing it, if you see me from the back, lift the shoulders. This is mobility, and then this is strength. So mobility, and use these back muscles to whoosh them down. This is, again, back muscles are all the back muscles. Up and, thoracic spine and lumbar spine. All your back muscles you need to work. This is warm up for them. Few of those, just up and down. Don't do your arms. It's not about arms. It's about shoulders. You have to squeeze. And then interlacing your fingers behind your back. Open your chest. This is a lovely one. This is such a good opener. Open your chest. Squeeze. Bend your knees. Again, watch how you bend your knees. Don't let them go in. Bend your knees. And then flat spine. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades. And when you go down, don't worry about arms going over your head. It's all about squeezing those shoulder blades. And then, it's lovely, this one. And then you come up again. Okay, so next one. You come on your balls of your feet. Find those balls of your feet and find this nice long line. Don't collapse. And then you go a little bit down, little bit up. So in this one, you're trying to balance, finding a little bit of control, belly in, and then you just balance on top. So you're working your calves. You'll notice your calves are working like crazy, which is again important to support the knees. And then lower your heels down, interlacing your fingers the other way. So there's always natural grip. You always go for one. Shift one place down. You see that? Like if you just shift one place down and it's totally awkward, you do that to pull the other shoulders. Make sure you always change the grip. So change the grip and then do the same. You open, squeeze, bend your knees, tilt your pelvis, and then you're going down. Oh, perfect. And then slowly rise up again, long, long, long. And this one is tricky. So come on to your balls of your feet again and find a floor spot on the floor. Look towards the floor. Stay there and don't move if you can help it. And then lift your gaze up towards the front wall, wherever you stay looking. And then lift your gaze up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Don't try not to move. And then lift your gaze up towards the fingertips. And that's a tricky one. Ooh. And then release. Oh, notice that. Anyway, so we're going into knees. So get back your feet into your learned stance, parallel. And then when you bend your knees, they should overlap the second toe. So watch when I see it often in class, people do like this. And it's so bad. Notice how arch is collapsing. Notice how collapsing. Notice how inner lateral side of your ankle and then knees are. And then this is damaging your lateral side. And I think lady you mentioned, she had trouble in the inner knee. This is because he pulled. It's so pulled badly here. You see, this is tight and this is open. No good. So you need to, I usually teach them to open the knees little bit. Don't overdo it, but little. And then notice how arches are reacting to it. And then you solid. Then your quadriceps are working. Everything is good. And then place your hands onto your hips. And off you go. Hop and hop. Very small movement. This is you're tilting your pelvis forward and backwards. And then this little move, you don't think much about it, but it's just brilliant. Because when you go under, you end up decompressing your lower back. And lower back is always in a trouble. And your lady, I think you mentioned, has a lower back troubles. So this little movement, decompress. And also, when you warm up, you check what's going on with the injury today, with the trouble area today. But also notice what you're doing to your hips. Hop and hop. Tight hips, these psoas. You end up moving it, warming up a little bit. And then hold it here and then sideways. This one, again, you don't think much about this move, but what it does here, TFL, tensor fascia lata, this muscle here that goes into IT band, you stretching it. Because what's usually happen, IT band is tight. That's just general case. It gets really tight because, you know, IT band is kind of not muscle, it's connective, it's very dense muscle, connective tissue. Anyway, and then this side of your legs are usually soft. You know, it's most challenging to tone is the inner leg. So what happens, this balance, again, this pulls you awkward ways. It creates this imbalance in your knees. So this stretch, you don't think much about it. It's just lovely. You feel it the whole leg. Okay, and once you've done that, you hold it and you do 4 corners of that circle. So you go backwards, sideways, forward, sideways. Notice it. So you're moving the whole body in one circle. So try to keep your head steady. That's the point in this one. You're just moving the whole body. Don't do just the hip. I see it in the class often. Idea is to, you see when you go forward, how you're challenging your front muscles, back muscles, and then you go backwards. And again, and then come back. You're trying to stretch. And it's really nice one. Go round, you see that? Perfect. And then to do 5 times the other way. And 1. Oh, it's lovely, this one. Just the whole, and notice how your feet needs to react. If you stay rigid on your feet, body compensates. You need to dance on your feet, to the heel, to the toes. And then somehow you get the rhythm and open the whole body. Beautiful. And then come back into your learned stance. Your spine is nice and long. Shoulders back and down. Squeeze your back muscles down. And then neck is in line with your spine. Chin is parallel with the ground. And your chin is slightly in. And then you have a crown of head reaches up towards the sky. you're standing nice and tall. And then I would advise, just to get the body into nice mood, you work on the breath, because breath is, I don't know if you know me, breath is so important. It just balances everything out, and you find, especially in Pilates breath, every exercise has a different breathing. Pilates says inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, for particular reason, because you're engaging your core. And again, if your lower back troubles, if you have a lower back troubles, usually you need to work on your core. But core is the whole trunk, not just your abdominals, but abdominals is one of them. So you would end up inhaling fully and then exhaling, squeeze your abdominals. And again, take a few breaths. You squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Notice how belly opens. And then squeeze, almost like you're doing crunches. Like really engage the movement. You're actually consciously moving your breath. It's not as it comes, as it goes. You inhale. Start warming up your core, and especially TA, transversus abdominis, the muscle that is inside you, like a belt. Pilates is all about this transversus abdominis plus. But you engage it with a strong breath. And then exhale. Just a couple of more. Okay, and then from here, this is going into warm up now, to move the shoulders, to get your body into the whole mental state of moving a little bit stronger. So usually I start with the shoulder. So this is my left, you're probably right. You go small. You go really small, so you end up moving your joint from inside out. And then once you're happy, everything runs smooth, you go bigger and bigger. So shoulder goes forward, up, and then slide it down. Forward, up, almost like you following the letter D shape. You know, capital letter D has like belly forward. You lift it up and then you squeeze it down. Again, you actually, when you do that, obviously you're moving the shoulder, but also you start working those back muscles. Again, which are important to support the lower back injuries. Okay, once you're done, you release, and then do lazy on the other side. Small, small, starting lazy, and then once you're happy, off you go, bigger and bigger. Forward, up, and swoosh it down. Capital letter D shape, has a belly forward, and then you just squeeze it down. And these are such a simple movements, but they are essential. I call them essential movements, but actually I read the article the other day, and Guy called it maintenance movements, and it is totally correct. You're maintaining the health of your body, anyway, health of your joints, and then you do both. So you start moving both. Okay, keep your body steady, spine straight, don't go anywhere. So you end up in a straight spine, and then start moving your arms up, and then open. Oh, notice that. Just by doing this, you have to extend, you have to work it. It's not lazy, it's actually, you're extending through your fingertips. So you go up long, and then squeeze your rhomboids, the back muscles. Oh, try not to move your spine again. Don't give in to the back bend. So you're working with the exhale. Notice how exhale squeezes your abdominals, and then you stay upright. When you inhale, body opens. When you exhale, body crunch. So do it on exhale, keeping your body steady. Oh, it's lovely, this one. Okay, and then your last one. Oh, and then release. And then you go backwards. Okay, this is tiny bit. You have to move your body fluidly. If you get stuck, no good. So you're going to go, so I'll turn around. Go forward, and then knees, hips, shoulders open backwards. You see rotation of your arms going backwards. You go forwards and then open. Oh, notice that. Whoosh, and then you open. And then again, whoosh, and then you open. Okay, and then your last one. And then release. Okay. That's it. That's the sequence for the warm-up, for your feet, for your warm-up. So we can do knees. Next video I'm going to do for the quadriceps and knees and stuff. And then back. I hope you're happy with this one. Talk to you soon.